All right, everyone, welcome back to week 11 of the NUC Rapid Fire Tournament as hosted by me, Chili from A Hero's Guide to Asgartha. I'm excited to see a number of you on. Right now, we've got 20 players listed for today with just a couple of minutes remaining. So I will take us through a little bit of what's going on before we go on. As I said in the chat, I will be playing the first round. Gives me a chance to just get a little bit of gameplay on myself, and then I will transition to fully casting and not being distracted by what my gameplay is. I am bringing Cowrie on today, but let's go through and see who is here on the tournament. So as you can hear, 20 people at the moment. Let's click the quick refresh to see if there is a couple more. We have had 2 people join us in just the last minute. But in terms of participants, we've got Rinku, Kimmy Dog, Lord Judah, Magro Boy, Aragorn, Elwee, Dorsabot, HTSA, Clem, Shrumpf, Leah Rising, Why Nothing, Gwinko, myself, Beat Barry, Kolfa, 95, Bebop, Geek, Jack 006, Kohlrabi, who's making an appearance even though he is not a fan of the format, and last one is Jubuaju. So thank you all for joining. I'm excited to be able to cast today, and we'll be casting tomorrow as well for the traditional format on our rapid fire 3-round quick 1-hour tournaments, hoping to help you get some of your adventure pass and once again promo packs for all those that are actually victorious. So the top 2 for NUC, and it will be the top 4 for tomorrow. It looks like the game has started. I will transition to be able to join that first game. So you can see me select what I've got. Let me just transition things here. I am showing my own game, so let me change it so it actually looks a little bit better. I am using my custom deck, and I've got to make sure I use the right one. Puff the Magic Dragon. NUC is what I'll be using today. And you can see here, so we'll see if it's any good. It's going to be fun to see who I end up playing against. Why Nothing? Good luck to you. Good luck to me. We're very evenly statted. I have come down a ton in terms of my ELO rating to 199. I'm almost down to Kohlrabi level, who still likes to stick around the 100-point mark. So just waiting to see what Why Nothing does select in their deck. And then once we finish my game, I will start transitioning to some of the other games that are playing. And as I said, I will drop no matter what the result is. So exciting times. Uh-oh, BGA is having some issues. I would ask just to refresh if you can. So see if resetting the browser or refresh helps. Oh, bummer. Unfortunately, they don't have the ability of being able to log on and pick their deck. So just trying to see if that's on my end or his end. It looks like it is just on their end. They're just trying again. Not sure if other people are having that issue, but if you are, I apologize. So Cole, thank you for letting me know. I'm just going to see another option is to try another browser. I really don't know the fixes, unfortunately. So with him not being able to do this, I'm not sure what we can show. I do have to stay on this screen just for a few minutes while I wait to see what ends up happening. I may actually, in this case, I can cancel myself. Not sure if I can cancel myself here, so the player's not playing. I feel bad for when players are trying to do this, especially like you want to play, you want to have some fun, but if it's not letting you do anything, won't let you select your deck, I'm sure there is a lot of frustration that happens in that case. While I am waiting, I am just going to quickly transition to one of the other team's players that is on. So let's see what we can do here as we go through. Let's see who has got here. Looks like there's already Shrimp and Dorsabot are already in play. Let's go have a look in and see what they have available to them so we can get something going on. And I will transition back and forth to see if I run out of time and he's logged on, then I'll lose the game, and that's fine. But I can see that there isn't much happening. It looks like it's still waiting for him on that side. All right, so we have got Shroomf on Basira, already bringing out Tiny Gen to looking for the ramp. They have already ramped once before from the looks of it, given they are at 6 mana, and we have got only 5 mana available for our Trace player. Dorsabot on the other side, which is an American player against a Frenchman here. I have not met Dorsabot before, but I'm looking forward to seeing their gameplay on Traced, using the common armor jammer instead of the rare, given that they probably want to save those rare slots. Lyra Chronicler also being played out, 404. Can they get a 1-for-1 or a 2-for-1? Let's see what ends up happening. Right now, there is just a single progression, and we are passing from Dorsabot. What does Shroomf have in store to be able to overcome the additional 2 stats needed to be able to progress it? They are able to do that. It's a fantastic card with Magical Training, giving them the draw as well as the triple boost, and that is fantastic for a season card, which will come out for 3 resources for 5/5/5. Unfortunately, not really helping. And because Dorsabot had passed, they weren't able to play out their second Armor Jammer. But on the positive side, they can play it out this turn, as they will be first player. So that is going to be great. I am just going to quickly have a look. Looks like nothing is helping them there. Yeah, not sure what's going to happen on their end. I may end up just getting the win. Unfortunately, I can't even get out of this. Hey, Shroomf, welcome. Glad you're letting me watch your game, and I apologize for some players if they're having issues with their deck. It's, sometimes BGA has issues, sometimes it's your own browser. I apologize yet again. But let's see here. So we already have a double advance for Basiro, who is very strong at being able to work from behind, so from in front. The only thing you've got to try to do is eliminate their ability of having cards in hand, which is going to be very useful in this case, especially if Dorsabot's able to bring out another landmark. Then sorry, not a landmark. If they've got something that allows you to activate your card in hand, this is actually a very strong play from Shroomf, though. Bringing out the Colorful Cuckoo right now, though, is by being able to activate Traced. We are seeing that he is now online, and there is very strong potential of being able to remove. To be able, you know what, they may even get a double advance depending on what they've got in their hand for the last 2. Shroomf has to use 3 resources to get a card draw because they would be running short, and on top of that, that is fantastic for them to be able to have that the 5/5/5 now Cuckoo in play, really strong for them. And we will see what's going on. Kohlrabi, I'll be watching your game as soon as we finish this. It just hadn't scrolled down far enough to be able to get it, and I wanted to get a game in, given we are still waiting, and I'm just going to transition to my screen. We're still waiting for Why Nothing to be able to figure out what is going on. Okay, not sure what I can do here, so we're going to continue to wait. And we are seeing on the other side, Traced activate, Axiom Salvager coming out, being able to get an additional thing. Now, this might be okay, because what ends up happening is nothing's going to go in reserve this time round, and it's a question of whether do we want to keep Inari in reserve to reduce the card, I guess, ability for Shroomf. So that may be the best way of being able to beat them, is by activating more of these from reserve abilities. Get the Armor Jammer to sabotage again, but right now there is nothing in their reserve to be able to actually target at all. So, oh, fine. So Kohlrabi must be playing pretty poorly then, if that's the case. Bringing out the... Oh, are they going to play it? Yeah, they have to play it from hand. They cannot scout it because it would be immediately removed. 3/3/3. What do we have coming up from Trace? They do have the card advantage for sure, but what they've got to make sure is they're able... Ooh, okay. The Ouroboros has been played out. Now, one thing of those that are learning the game, Ouroboros, by what it does, it instead of resupplying, so if you have cards that activate through resupply, it doesn't. It replaces the resupply with a reveal 2 cards and select 1. Wow, this is really strong. Physical Training coming out. We are potentially going to see Inari get activated to remove the remaining Physical Training boosts that are potential there. 6/6/6 on both sides. If you're not able to remove things in play right now, then honestly, what we will be seeing is a complete and utter, almost annihilation by fantastically played by Shrimp. They are able to get the victory here, but we can. It looks like we will be able to potentially match what is there, discarding the physical training. The only question in play is what else do we have? A second Tellurian skater, this time get it coming out 999. Good games may be coming out unless we can do something about the removal. You've got to remove the Cuckoo. Grems isn't really going to help, but it may. Grems coming out. No, you're not going to have enough. There's not going to be enough. We should be seeing a complete winner. Let's see what we've got. Targeting, yeah, getting rid of that. Adding another 222 body. Not going to be enough. You could activate the Ouroboros again to resupply and hope you get something there. It looks like we are going to do that. Bring out. Can you get something in play? Nothing that's going to be useful, unfortunately, coming up from that additional resupply or the equivalent of the resupply. Choosing one, and we should be seeing good games come out for Schrumpf. Getting the win. That is exactly what we see. A very, very quick win on that side. Let's see. So from my end, I look at that. I thought that was very methodical. The use of the colorful cuckoos and the Tellurian skaters, incredibly useful for them to be able to keep things in play. Very, very timely. What's the +3 boost card? Sorry, I've gone haywire. I've completely forgotten. The physical training. Thank you. Physical training to be able to get the boosts when they were needed. But let's see what we've got in play now. So as we go through, looks like we are now going to get a chance to see one of our other players. I'm just going to quickly make my way down. We had a couple of players that didn't actually show up. That's an unfortunate thing. Actually, a number of players weren't able to show up today. This is, if there are European players, it is quite late for them. It is close to midnight, if not past midnight for some of our European players. And let's get us through again, and we're going to see what do we have here with Rinku playing with the Sigismar deck against Lord Judah, who is playing their Muna deck, which is Tasia and Naura. And it's interesting, we have got an Ascended Expedition from Tasia and Naura here. A fantastic amount of stats available for Lord Judah, looking for the double advance, and that would get them the win. On the other side, there's still a lot of statistics, a lot of stats, 6 stats left for Rinku to play out a number of cards. The question will be, will they have enough to be able to cover what is needed? And we can see here the 303 coming out on the right-hand side, giving us a block with the Frog Prince. They still needed one more stat to be able to be played out. It looks like the Duckling will be able to do that to make sure that the Ascended mechanic does not allow Tasia to progress, and we'll be going on to one additional day. And really, before the battle out, can anyone win before we get into arena mode? Which will be the question that we've got. Yeah, only 3 spectators right now. That's a little bit sad. Hopefully we get some more players, more people join us. Once again, the game in the Americas is still developing. It's nowhere near the level of interest as it has in Europe, especially in France. I know that there's a number of us that are here that are trying to promote the game in one way or another, just trying to see what can we do to help out. And look what we've got here. We're getting rid of, with Moth Collision, if you control the soldier, you could cost you 1 less, so using the 3 resources to get rid of it. And that's the way that they were able to get the 1-for-1 advance. Deciding to see where we are now. The hard part for Rinku is, do they have enough high-statted cards? Now, they may have enough in the fact that they've got 5 cards to play, potentially just 4, depending on how they choose to mana. And this, whereas on the other side, Tasia can mana, and so you're getting a lot of stats from a 3/3/3, but you're not having to give away the draw with the Daughter of Yggdrasil when it's played from reserve. That card is going to be fantastic in the new hero that's coming out with set 6. So very interesting to see what we've got here. And Lord Judah, I wonder what their thoughts are going about. I'm playing the World Champ. Can I do anything? I know it is NUC format. It is not with all the unique. Can I have a balanced approach? Do I have access to enough cards? Do I know my game state, my lines to be able to get the win? And we are seeing a little bit of discussion here while we're waiting for the move to be made. I will stick here. I'm going to skip the turn of the player. Unfortunately, I'm going to confirm that move. Why nothing will be will be expelled, unfortunately. And I'm doing that so then I can quit before round 2. And that way we do have enough. That way I can focus on the casting. Unfortunately, I did not get my chance to win. 3 mana, 5/5/3, draw 2, and opposition draw 1. So broken. It is absolutely broken. If you can do the ramp as well as the drawing with that kind of Muna hero, you may do fantastically well. It doesn't matter if you're giving something to your opponent, especially if you start playing cards that are a bit more expensive, because in many cases, yes, they're going to have to play a whole bunch of cards, but they can only keep 2 cards in reserve. So Loki draw 6, yeah, that's fantastic. So let's have a look. Thank you, Cole. And I know you're only interested in Muna. One of these days, you're going to have the appreciation for Sigismar, like many of us do. The best in the world seem to use it. Why can't you? Let's. Yes, you're absolutely right. Hostage couldn't be played while this exists, which is good. We do need, like, I'm not a fan of the way that Hostage plays. Some people love it. Not my cup of tea. But looking at it here, Rinku is really far behind in terms of what they're able to progress. From a perspective of we're going to have an anchored character in play. I don't know why Lord Judah has chosen to play out the Daughter of Yggdrasil, given it gives you less stats on the water side. Unless they're looking to force the hand, force your opponent to be able to move and look at this lovely 3/3/3 ascended now on the hero side, making Rinku have the ability of progressing twice. The difficult part that we'll be looking at here is, I don't know if there's anything that Lord Judy can do right now. If you play out the Jack Frost, looks like I got the win. I'm going to just make sure I am able to. I'm going to quit this game very, very quickly. Sorry, and I am going to select myself to withdraw from the tournament. Yes, I know I'm going to get a karma, but that is fine. And what we're going to get a chance to see is interesting, fantastic work. Beauty Sleep being played out for 1. The hard part with that is you may say the Ugly Duckling can still be played out. No, fantastic. Lovely work getting out the teamwork training. Lord Judah, you got close, but it looks like we are going to get the win and the victory here for its Rinku with only 1/1/1 worth of stats available. Really well done. Fantastic work. Good games should be coming around. Good job. I love it. Like getting to see players just test things out, use different strategies. This, for me, is the NUC format is a very strong testing ground of being able to play cards in their primitive way. But very, very good. So good job. What we've got here as we're progressing, I'm just going to quickly go through to see what rounds are still. There's still a number of plays that are still happening. I'm just going to go to the homepage, and you can see here we are looking for a number that are still progressed. I am going to go to table 1, get a chance to see Kibby Dog against Kolfa. If it lets me select that, let's have a look where we are. All right, hopefully we do have a little bit of gameplay. We are about 5 minutes left in terms of what's available. Let me just change the view so you have a better chance to see. And once again, another Sigismar player against, this time we're looking at Fen and Crowbar. So very, very strong. 3/3. Oh, man. Choosing to play out the Ordis Attorney and the Jack Frost on the same side, stopping the progression but not getting the card draw, because now you're progressing further, and it's basically going to force the hand of our Fen and Crowbar player to look the other way, try to see if they can get something on the other side. And what we can see here is we're more than likely going to get a 1-for-1. Can they get anything? No. Why would you play out the Martingale if you didn't have another 1-cost character? Because they still get the double progression. You do have 2 cards in reserve. Maybe it might be so that you can get the Anansi effect off a lot stronger. That might be the validation as to why it was done. But Kimmy Dog is a fair bit ahead, 3 tracks ahead, or 3 sections ahead. It might be very difficult for them to be able to do. Marv, the Exalted card, you have to remind me a little bit about what that Exalted card does. I do not recall what that, I think it would be one of the Reekers, I believe, what it does in Muna. What we are getting here is a fantastic a number of stats. Anansi 444 on that side, being able to be matched by the Gargoyle, given that it is in Mountain, but that doesn't help them. They need to progress on Forest. So looking to see how do we actually play this slow, which is what I believe we'll be looking for. The resupply of Esmeralda isn't going to, sorry, the stats on Esmeralda are not going to help on one side, but they have the potential of helping on the other side if you need to. Martingale is going to get discarded, looking to play out. Ooh, okay, Gain's asleep. Like if you had one more stat, you could have played Festival. That'd be a fantastic little way of playing. Kimmy Dog is out of time, 2 minutes over on their side. Kolfa does have 6 minutes left, so it means that approximately 4 minutes of game time still remaining. Thanks, Marv. If you can check that out for me, just because I cannot change the screen. What are we going to remove? X marks the spot. We'll get rid of one card, and in this case, gets rid of the drawing effect, which is fantastic. And the second one does come out, but in this case, it allows the progression, which is what they were looking for. Getting a 1-for-1. Anansi is not helping you out, but on the positive side, your Kodama is now going to have 333 worth of stats to begin the day, and Kimmy Dog is very low on statistics, given he's had to use his attorneys twice and not being able to get the benefits of any card draw. Actually, 3 times played out, never getting the card draw from what we have seen so far. So very interesting, and I'll say from a perspective of usefulness, you're getting the Twinkle Twinkle in Lyra here. So it looks like it might be a Festival deck that just did not have the Festival cards in hand available to them. Fantastic play. This might be the time that we're going to get the card draw, and you've got basically are going to have to really nicely done. We're going to get an Anubis getting played out. Very seldom do you get to see Anubises wanting to see what card is going to get sacrificed. Just note that interesting that I would have thought when you play out the sacrifice, sorry, it was right. Anubis sacrificed the token, and on the other side, we had to sacrifice the Kodama. We're getting another card out here for 333. What do we have in play? Oh, it's going to allow them to get the win. Can you do anything? Yeah, you can. Twinkle, twinkle. You can actually discard it down, and you can get the single progression. You've got to do it, right? You've got to use the quick ability, bring out Esmeralda, and the luck that we have from Kolfa here is that they at least are going to get to resupply because of the anchored aloe vera. That's going to be really important for them to have a chance, but they're still two behind. And on the other side, we're getting to see Kimmy Dog get that draw. Rough, because the later the game goes, if you don't have any cards in hand, it makes it so difficult for Fen and Crowbar because they're such at a disadvantage. They don't ever get to choose. They have to keep only one card in hand. They've got no option. But there is some removal there, which will be very useful. The hope is you've got to bring out the Esmeralda first in case the Anubis gets played out. Opting not to do that, playing the Ouroboros Inkcaster first. Interesting. Anubis will actually discard this. I would have thought it would have been better to get rid of the other card. Rough. So not sure if they remembered what was happening here, but I would have looked at it. So once again, Marv is telling us a little bit about the Exalted card, which is 7/7 with 5/5/5 worth of stats, and the opponent exhausted resupplies whenever you make a gift. Anchor a friendly character, so you can also do that. You can't anchor yourself, but you can anchor a third character, an additional character. That's not bad at all. And we are going to see here looks like the win is going to come with X marks the spot. Moving it out, getting rid of Anubis, I would assume, but it's not really going to help. We're going to get the additional benefit, and not only can Kimmy Dog play out the Bumblebee, they're choosing not to, just choosing to get the win, get the 1-1, and get the progression. So congratulations to Kimmy Dog. Unfortunate for Kolfa. You did pretty well anyway in terms of how your game state is there. I would have loved to have seen some level of Festival. But that's really cool. It's really good. It's great to see players from all around the world join us, and we appreciate those that are actually playing the game right now and supporting the Americas tournaments that we're trying to run. The goal is over the next few weeks leading up to Season 6 that we're able to get we get enough representation so that we can also participate in the 32 plus tournaments to provide those people that are playing the uniques. So right now, none of us breach that or make the limit that we need to. I am going to go and transition to who is still playing. Let's have a look. I will put that on so we can see the tournament homepage as we scroll down here, and we have got Kohlrabi against Leah Rising. I think we've still got some issues with Board Game Arena where it says 0% progression until you complete the game. It happens once in a while, but not all the time. It's still loading. Maybe it is right that that is exactly what's happening. Round 2, they are selecting their decks. Kohlrabi, I'm going to get a chance to see what you've got here for you. Just give it a few more seconds while we wait for the board game state as the players end up selecting their deck. So I'll just take it off that one for right now. I'm so excited. I guess one of the things that we're looking at right now is when will we find out more information about Set 6. My hope personally is that we wait a little bit until we have a chance to, Set 7, until we get a chance to solidify Set 6, as we weren't able to really see the benefits of Skybound Odyssey. This set has not been explored or been appreciated the way the other sets were, given the quick transition away from the distribution models that Equinox has done. And we are looking at it here. A 1-1 Leah Rising. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Fantastic play. Very, very low to the ground. Bountiful Metal, though, coming out. Not getting a chance to see this as often. And with Bountiful Meadow, it is the next plant you play this turn costs 1 less. Wasn't able to be used with Resentful Robin. As you can see here, it is a character that is an animal, not with the plant. But do we have a 1-cost card that can be put into play? Oh, interesting. Looking at that. 3/3. Are we going to look like Leah Rising may be able to get the 2 advance? No, does end up being able to play it out. 3/2 doesn't help, but bringing it out purely so you can start getting the triggers on it from when it comes from reserve with the Bumblebee. So Cole, I'm interested to see what your mindset is in terms of how you built. As you used to call, Rin and Orchid is the half-decent deck, can get you a half win. Prior to the inclusion of Kaori as a hero, you said there was only 1.5 heroes that were viable. So let's see what you've got here. Can you beat this Sigismar? Can you show up on a tournament that's not on your own and get the win? Does this still count? That if someone beats you here, they get a prize? Just asking for the masses. All right. Leah is choosing to discard. They've chosen that. I honestly feel I need to get back into playing Sigismar, but at my locals, people got frustrated with me just playing Sigismar so much that I've decided to test everything but them. I'm playing Moyo, and I cannot master Moyo. I don't want to go down the path of just playing, how would you call it, the hostage style deck. It's not me, right? It is for others, but not for me. Looking at what we've got here, Kohlrabi is only got the 3 cards in hand. Because they weren't able to progress, they weren't able to take advantage of the benefit of Rin and Orchid's ability. And once again, that ability is if you progress on Forest, then you can basically draw a card and put a card that you've got in your reserve. My way of thinking about the builds is that you want to have much more costly cards, so that way you don't indulge, or you don't have too many cards in reserve and you end up having to remove one of them anyway. That's just my thought, but it does allow you to cycle through your deck and keep what is better. So fantastic work on that side, being able to get the Aloe Vera out anchored. And because you were able to do it using the Bountiful Meadow, it allows you then to play your Resentful Robin and to ensure that you get the single progression if needed. And I guess on the other side is you may even be able to get a double progression depending on where the Ascended Trooper gets placed, or if they choose to just pass and go for the single win. Given they are still ahead, they don't even have to waste another card and still be able to progress 1-for-1. Choosing to go for a 2-for-1, and it looks like it's going to become a 1-for-1 if the Resentful Robin is played on the hero side, which is from Kohlrabi, blocking that out. There is no Ascended element when you play out the Ascended Trooper in the common. The rare does give it to you from both sides. The common only gives it to you from hand. Yeah, good question. I think with Marv on your thing about Loki allowing you to draw 6, I'm not sure if it's draw 3. It's a gift if it's a draw. You can only use the ability once, but if it's a single activity, you may be able to double it. That's actually pretty. I think that would be a really cool. That's a very broken mechanic, is using Loki in that to be able to draw 6 while your opponent can only draw 3. Especially if you're able to do it with the unique ones that basically remove the reserve as well. So if they've got anything in reserve, you may be able to do really strong things. Kohlrabi coming up, and it looks like his third card is the Colorful Cuckoo, which will be amazing to be able to play out an anchor, potential double anchor that's going to come out, one from the Bumblebeat and one from the Colorful Cuckoo, allowing Kohlrabi to keep that single card in hand. The question is, can they get the double progression, get more cards to draw? But it's going to be a bit rough for them. None of these. Bumblebeat is a plant, so you have the ability of playing it out, and it's just a question of, do they have anything in their hand that they can also anchor on top of this? And I apologize, the Bumblebee is at the common, so it does not give you the draw ability here. Thanks, Kohlrabi. Appreciate your little notes here. I'm so used to Ordis giving you that's the way that I've always played it. The definition of a gift is your opponent gets to draw, resupply, or exhausted resupply by your card, and absolutely. So it might actually work. I think that is incredibly broken though with Loki, if that is the case. So fantastic work. The people are already scheming new ways of being able to use the cards. I love it. I love it. I am more I copy and then I play to my liking of some of these decks. Not as much a deck builder as a deck tinkerer is the way I'd probably call myself. And look at here. Leah, I like that you always bring unconventional decks, saying to Cole, actually, he doesn't bring unconventional decks. I think that Cole usually brings, I would call it Mooner decks. So he'll try to play as much as he can. That's how he donates his ELO out to other people. Is fantastic. Two tracks behind. It's going to be a little bit difficult for Cole to be able to progress. There is a double progression, though, happening on their end. So there's going to be only one track behind, but the closer that Ordis gets, the more difficult it will be for him to overcome. The positive side is that we do have the Cuckoo that is anchored, and that will be incredibly strong for them to be able to use. And what do we have here? You trade it for more fun. That's fun. All right, a second. What do you want to do? Like if it was me, do you just not play the Bumblebee? But you can't play out both Aloe Veras. He's choosing to keep them both. Play one this turn, one next turn. Given it does cost 4 resources to be able to anchor it. But at least then you've got an anchor potentially on both sides, but not a strong anchor, given right now, if you play it on the hero side, you're fighting over a mountain, and that only gives you 2 stats. Interesting to see what ends up getting played. And you're more than likely not going to progress. And therefore, you're not getting the benefit of the Aloe Vera the second day either. So, rough play here. 3 resources. Oh. Yeah, ends up playing Bountiful Meadow to bring out Hydrocana. Yes. Yes. Is there a removal? Is there enough removal in play? Now, the great part is Leah Rising could basically get a 1-for-1 by playing out the Ordis Attorney, or plenty of resources available from hand. But then if there is no removal for the next day, that is going to be incredibly rough. Okarabi, you've built a deck that reminds me of Season 1, uh, and it's bringing back great memories. It was the first hero that I actually built a deck for, was not Rin, but Tasia. But this is going to be interesting. I love it. Absolutely love it. 4 resources remaining. What we're looking at here is, you know, can they, are they willing to be able to play on the companion? Oh, choosing to play. It's going to be a 0-for-0 progression, but it allows, no, we're going to get, 0-0 progression, but it will allow Sigismar to get the card draw. And maybe that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that double and no movement. You don't get this every day when there's blocks all round, and the benefit of the additional card draw has been great for them. On the other side now, this the aloe veras are going to be incredibly important when played out on the companion side, and if there is any removal, it's going to force Sigismar to basically use a whole bunch of their resources. In it. The lowest that they'll have available to them is a 3-resource card that's license withdrawal, sorry. And then they've only got 3 resources, or potentially 4 once they mana, to be able to play with. On the other side, we have got access to a potential 8 mana to be able to be played. And even if you get Hydrocana removed, you may have the ability of getting the double progression. If you don't have removal, if you're Sigismar, you're in big, big trouble, because the right-hand side is basically a given, and given the cost of the aloe veras and the benefits you're going to get from them, you're having to double pay or triple pay to overcome the benefit here. Yeah, Cole, your question about the single gift, not the X quantity, that's what I thought as well, is like you may be limited to just the one. But I'm sure as the information for set 6 comes out, we're going to get told these rules. I know that there's a limit on 1 instance. I don't know if the X multiplier allows you to do more than 1, but it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, it's draw, resupply, or creating a token. Absolutely. So if they get it, so Cowrie's going to benefit from here, or not Cowrie, anything of the sheep that you've got, the woolly-backs are also going to benefit. License withdrawal, the first card had to come out, get rid of the Hydrocana. And now that they've only got 2 resources, is there enough in here for the aloe vera to make its mark? If it was me, would I play out aloe vera and force the I'm sorry coming out from them, and basically force the Ortus Crier? The Ortus Crier doesn't cost much, but then they've got just 2 cards in hand, and the next day, from your perspective, Cole, you'll be able to have the 2 resupplies, which may be incredibly useful. Opting, though, to play out Bountiful Meadow, forcing Leah Rising to make the decision first, and once again, the Bountiful Meadow does allow you to trigger the ability instantly, or basically the very next time. There are some landmarks that don't give you that. This one will. Frog Prince coming out on the right-hand side, giving the additional boost. So we are going to get a chance to see, you can play Aloe Vera out, get the progression, double progression, now we're going to be equal, or does he have something else in hand that can be played? Once again, if it is a plant, it can have up to 3 cost from hand, or in this case, 2 cost from reserve, 3 cost from reserve. We'll see what ends up happening. We are seeing the trigger of Bountiful Meadow, and this looks very much like my initial deck. Oh, really great. Daughter Yggdrasil coming out, giving both players the draw at the rare. Single draw. Oh no, each player draws. There it is. It is the rare, so you have both. You can have a card. Look at him being so nice in what they've been able to do. Double progression though, and now we're seeing Kohlrabi. His 100 ELO rating is already at 104, going up for his personal best of 108. Let's see what ends up happening here if he gets the win. Really interesting here. And now there is an ability of 7 resources, and then once again, Cole, his 7 resources can be basically a max of 9, depending on what he has available to him. So he can play out the Aloe Vera for basically 1 cost, or the Daughter of Yggdrasil for 1. The way I normally, at least the way that I've played when it comes to using the Bountiful Meadows, I activate them immediately, just in case there is removal. But once again, not sure what is going to happen and how it's going to get played. The Resentful Robin also very, very useful at a very cheap cost to be able to block out something very easily. And in this case, if you end up playing it on the hero side, you'll be able to overcome and be in the lead depending on where Leah Rising chooses to play out their cards. On the other side, looking like a very fantastic value, very good value. Frog Prince 2 cost for 303, and since they're fighting over water, what you're looking at is getting very close to being able to overcome the increase or the benefit that the aloe vera has given. And it looks like we're going to see aloe vera probably come out on the right-hand side as well, choosing not to play it right now, deciding to play the Daughter of Yggdrasil on the companion side. On the hero side, I apologize for the 553 in terms of stats. Very difficult to beat, especially if they play out the Order's Cry. You're going to have to play out something else on top of that to be able to even come close to getting it. I'm looking at aloe vera more than likely going to be played out on the companion side. Not sure if that is what's going to... So, Marv, you are an Axiom Bravos player. Oh, you're going to go into the Mooner world. It looks fun. I actually am interested in seeing how the new Orders hero plays, given that would be more in line with your love of Axiom. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. We've still got a few months to wait. There's still a long time to go. February release dates. Some people are going to get their boxes way before others. I'm hoping that the stores get their boxes in late January so that we can do some previews before everyone else gets theirs and you can have a bit of fun. Get the stores involved. Get them to have that energy around the game once again. And looks like what we are seeing here is a progression on the hero side. Interesting. How will this be played out? Like, what do we have? What do we have here? So there's double progression. A second Frog Prince coming out. Now there is 6 stats on the right-hand side. Do we have a 2-cost play that will give you 2 in value? That doesn't give you enough, but there could be another of the Resentful Robins in hand who has a single 1 cost to be able to block out. But a 1-for-1 progression is still strong enough for Rin. In this case, we're probably going to see a pass from Kohlrabi. Don't get a chance to watch many Rin games, so I'm a bit rusty in terms of the phrasing and the wording on how this is played. But now we are looking at a very, very strong case for Kohlrabi and Rin and Orchid getting the win, and we're going to get another anchor. So we will see the aloe vera be anchored again. And is there not enough removal? And this is the hard part for Leah Rising. If they choose to spend stats on removal, it stops them from being able to bring stats up. And you know that right now there's a 2-mana differential, potential 2-mana differential between Cole and Leah. In this case, wow, it's a fantastic resupply. So if they don't get the win now, they have the ability of getting the win the very next day. Anchoring the aloe vera, of course, that makes a lot of sense. And it is in water. 4 stats is going to be very difficult to overcome. Using one of your resources to play out, choosing Bumblebeat to go hardcore on the right-hand side with 5 stats in water. What do we have here? What can be done? See, playing the Frog Prince, that's a bit rough given your opponent can still progress on Mountain. A Dodo gets played out on the right-hand side, is asleep, will actually gain some stats the moment something has to be played out on there, given I do believe Cole will play out another character on the right-hand side. That's a rough one. I think if it was me, I would have more than likely played the Frog Prince on the hero side. Do you have removal? What do you have as removal? You've got to have something for removal. Oh, another Dodo getting sleep. So looking for the next... If he doesn't win now, he'll be able to get the benefit for the next day. Gift of Self. Sacrificing the token, more than likely. Getting the double draw. Doesn't have the removal they need. But given they've still got 3 resources available to them, the removal may be just enough. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get that. 2 resources available for Kohlrabi. Still has the ability of triggering 1 more of the Bountiful Meadows. Looks like they do have a character that they're going to play out. So Aegis Templar, getting it. So you're going to have no progression there. Does not get enough stats. Getting, they may have 2 resources, but still not able to block out. We're choosing to wake up the Dodo. Munich give a single stat on that side. Oh, there could still be something here. Nothing's boosted, so he cannot be licensed withdrawal away. Good games are coming out from Leon Cole. Just waiting for the last bit of play. We are getting very close to time. We'll see what ends up happening. I am going to take us to the caster screen once this is done and get a chance to do a little bit of a recap on what we saw. All right, good games. Cole getting the win against Leah Rising. Fantastic work. Now, one of the things from my end is I'm doing a little bit of a deep dive on the analysis, or at least take you through my thoughts, is like bringing Hydrocana out is fantastic if you can do it. And what it allowed Cole to really do is force your opponent to actually interact with it. They had to interact with it, waste resources, and the very next day, because of what ended up happening, Kohlrabi was able to double progress or move that forward, and then get the upper hand because now one of the removals is taken out. You can focus on getting other things anchored and getting some benefits there. While you're not getting the stats of 4 additional stats every day, you're still able to progress quite substantially. And we saw him, once he took the lead, Leah was really trying to claw back and making it very difficult for themselves. So let's go through onto the homepage where we are right now in terms of who has progressed. Rinku getting 2 wins at the moment. Aragorn also on 2 wins as we're progressing through here. Let me just close this out. So one of the announcements, one of the messages that's coming through here as we go through. Jack also on 2 wins, and that allows us to see there's still a little bit of play. So we are looking at HDSA and Kolfa also have the potential of going 2-0. Let's have a look what we've got in play here for HTSA against Kolfa 95, and we are seeing here Sierra against Fenn Crowbar. First play of the day, Abandoned Depot, allowing you to draw a card and also being able to play out a 2-2 Brassbug. Really good. One of the best openers that we can actually get is getting something out that gives you a level of benefit, and you're also able to trigger your Sierra ability straight away. On the other side, we are playing out a sleeping Kadama. Do they have a single cost card that they can get a 1-for-1? We'll see what Kolfa has available to them. So we have got HTSA, which does have to pass. But on the other side, where are we? What do we see? It is just a 1-0 progression right now. Didn't have anything in store. But on the other side, for the next day, Kadama is very strong, is giving you 3 resources already, and you can battle it out over just the companion side to see what we've got. Does Sierra have something in hand? Do they have another permanent landmark that they can play and get a benefit that way? So one thing I don't tend to see, you see it in some players, is the use of Amali at the rare as a way of, if you have a lot of cards in your reserve, getting rid of them all and drawing the equivalent up. Just to have 1 or 2 in every deck is, even if it's 1, is useful. It's a break in case of emergency, especially if you're playing against a deck that makes the game prolong, because you don't have the ability of having extra cards in hand. Once again, playing out the bug out bag this time, choosing to play it out on the companion side, given they weren't able to overcome on the hero side. And what we are going to see is a 2-for-1, 2-0 progression. Really lovely done here, given the mountain stats of the Lyra Contortionist. Getting rid of using this last stat to get rid of the landmark. Once again, this new mechanic that came out. Tap it, pay 1, sacrifice. And as you sacrifice it, you also get to draw a card. So double draw, very, very strong in terms of its gameplay. And once again, HDSA here and Kolfa, both from France. So appreciate you guys staying up to play the game with us here on the Americas side. We'll see what ends up happening as we progress today too. The one thing also of note, as we are also trying to teach people and educate people about the game, is the Lyra Contortionist allows you to have an extra card in hand in your reserve, so you only have to discard down to 3 and not 2. But because of the benefit of the Ouroboros Inkster that was played, is when it goes to reserve, you're able to then bring a card back to hand. So nothing was lost here. We don't see anything going to the reserve, to your discard. Really economical way of playing that we've seen here. And the benefit, normally when I see this style of deck, is you are going to be heavy on utilization of Anansi, because you're seeing a build up in that reserve to be able to use it. The other thing that you of note in the way that this deck is built is that the majority of the cards that are going to be played by Fen and Crowbar have from a discard ability. You can discount a card, play it. In this case, they're discarding. The first thing that they're doing is Hathor, return another card from your reserve to your hand, and now in this case, playing out the Parliament of Ashes at the rare, which allows you to do the drawing. That's the only one available in Lyra. In Bravos, you have the ability of rare to draw, common to resupply. And we are seeing another Abandoned Depot come out for the draw. Interesting. I see what the gameplay is happening here. If you've got lots of draw, you may potentially be either searching for something major or really trying to play as low to the ground and then getting the benefit of some of the Aerolith tokens that may be in this deck, but we haven't seen one yet. Okay. What is Kolfa going to do? Both the two cards in reserve aren't going to give you much. The one thing with the I don't know if we're going to have much draw, but it does give you to pay your martingale out for one less. We're going to get the Ouroboros Inkcaster to come out. Interesting to see what will actually come back to hand. Can we get a 1-for-1 progression? Mechanical Training being played out to get an additional draw. And given that Sierra has already been triggered, you cannot then create the Brass Bug at the same time. Do we have a spell? Do we have a single cost card? I don't think you need to. In this case, you're more than likely going to bring back the Martingale to hand. No, choosing to discard it so they can play a 2-cost card and maybe even block on the companion side. Or even go progress it. Choosing to rock it. What am I thinking? Lyra Contortionist goes over the amount on the mountain. We're getting a double progression from Kolfa this time round. Don't let his victory points deceive you. Very, very smart. Very, very strongly played. Okay, and sorry, one thing I have not done, I haven't actually transferred this properly. This should be the right view. I apologize. Wish someone had told me on the chat. Come on. And it shows here clarification on Tarun that shows you only draw one card. So it's still a great benefit from that, but appreciate that. I don't know if that's actually on the notes to each card to Tarun already. But I'd be interested to find out, Kohlrabi, where you found that out, so that way, if someone asks, I can actually reference them in the right way. Slayer Fan being played out. In this case, I'm assuming a Ouroboros Inkcaster is going to come back to hand, so you can recycle and be very economical in the way that you use your cards. But we will see. And the reason I say that is the Aloe Vera, when it does, choosing to bring back the Aloe Vera, interesting. That way, you've got cards that can discount, so both the Ouroboros Inkcaster as well as Twinkle Twinkle can discount a card. So basically, while you have 5 stats available to you, you have now the potential of getting 7 that you can play out. But this is exactly what HTSA needed, is playing out the Brass Bug Hive. Your hope is, with 5 mana remaining, that there's no removal. The removal that you're really looking for that could really hurt you is one that has the little what is it called? Someone remind me. So thank you, Cole. You're advising that it is on the card itself, on the text. So anyone wanting to go on the BGA site, not Boy BGA, going onto the authored site will be able to get that information. That's really useful. And I've got to do a quick check of the text. The wifey is saying that she's bringing leftovers from Cafe Rio. Look at that. I love it. We're going to have some Mexican food at home. I appreciate that. Don't have to make dinner tonight. That makes me a little bit happy. So the wifey is a gem. All right. So we're getting a 1-for-1 progression here, and with no removal in store, what can Kolfa do? Right now, I think from HTSA's, so from Kolfa's perspective, they're sitting pretty, being 3 tracks ahead. And being able to sleep a character already for the next day, saying, hey, I can't win today, but I'm able to bring some stats. Oh, Cole, you've got to come back. You've got to come. Next time you come to Salt Lake, I know you're your family, but you can always stay with me, man. Like we got plenty of room. We could even cast in the same house. How's that? We can make it a casting house. Yeah, my place is always open to you, man. If you need to. The same goes to most of the community. We've got to get to know each other a little bit first, but hopefully this is a friendly place. It is a good place. A little bit Happy Valley at times, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing that people think the best of most, right? Especially in today's world. And I'm not going to make this political. Anansi is going to be a great card for them to be able to play out and be able to overcome a number of the stats that are available. But we still see a very, very difficult journey for HDSA to be able to come back. The good thing is by playing the mechanical training, you're going to be able to bring another Brass Bug 3/3/3 out, and you're basically ensuring right now from a stats perspective that you're progressing or at least blocking on both sides. The question that you now have to do is, do I have enough? Or am I going to play out my hand too quickly and then Lyra being Lyra, be able to decide what they do at the end of the game? Then Anansi is looming very difficult for them to overcome as well, given you don't have that much removal available from HTSA or from Sierra. Now they might have a removal for the Anansi. The tough thing is you'll be paying more than 2, more than likely 3 with Boom, and then losing it all out. Second and 2 Anansis are going to be played out. This is going to be rough going because the other Anansi is going to be played out on the other side. What do we have here? You could pay for the next day, discounting Foundry Mechanic to play a second Brass Bug Hive, and you're really setting yourself up for the next day. But that's not going to help you because right now Kolfa is two expeditions ahead. If they meet in the middle, then we're in a bit of trouble. Choosing not to do that, playing out the bug out bag for 1, and being able to activate Sierra, putting Sierra on the companion side, so really forcing the hand on where the progress can go. Oof. Anansi being 2 resources will be able to come out and give you a +3 boost. Then you can use Twinkle Twinkle's discount ability to then play out the Hathor. So you can still play out both characters or whatever is in hand at very little cost. The other thing you can do if you want to delay the decision is you can play Sleight of Hand, put your card from hand, and then bring out your Anansi into hand. So basically play your card in your hand into reserve, bring out Anansi, you get rid of Sleight of Hand, and then it's an after you that you may be able to overcome and get the victory and the win. So we'll see what ends up happening here, what Colford decides to do. And just a reminder for everybody that is on the cast today, see, the removals aren't going to be enough. Your hope right now is that you can overcome and get the progression and block out and be a 1-for-1. The positive side for HDSA, if they can get through today, 2 of the big Anansis are out, you're going to reduce their access to cards substantially, where they'll only be able to keep 1 card in hand. They'll also be able to, in this case, we are getting a return another character card from your reserve to your hand. Are they looking for a full win? Oh, bringing it to hand. Oh, wait, what are they trying to do? So they have another... Paying the 2 to bring a sleep. So we don't have anything. Very, very smartly played by Kolfa. Has HDSA got 3 water stats from just a 2 trigger? Looks like they do not, because the Grems does not give you the benefit unless it comes from reserve. Really well played. Very, very smart. Getting the double progression. Kolfa, fantastic work on that win. That will just take us very quickly. And as I look to see where we are on the standings, and I'll make that available to all in just a second as I refresh the page. All right, we are basically down in time. All 3 rounds have been played. You can see myself losing. So far, no one has gone undefeated, but per our policy here, the top 2 players per BGA, as long as they have not used any uniques, get the win. They will get the cards. So they'll get a Skybound Odyssey, and you can see here I've got a couple that I opened up earlier for some other players from last week. they'll get a Skybound Odyssey pack, and we were seeing the last of the games here, and we can see where we are. Aragorn looking very much that they're in charge here, but there is still plenty of resources to be played. Oof. Look at this, 8 mana for Rinku against 12 mana for Aragorn. This is insane. I'm not sure, looking at their reserve, so yeah, no, nothing untoward. Rinku, what have you got in store? 6 mana resources, very difficult. Double progression is what you're facing. Oh, this is a tough one. I don't know by hand if there's anything. Looks like GGs are going to come out. GGs may come out here. Aragorn may get the upper hand on the top world champion. Playing out my favorite card, Priya, Brava Signaler. Rinku, I know it's not one of your favorite cards to play. You'd prefer playing the common and just to reveal. But boy, I love this card. The art is fantastic in my mind. Just using those fluoros coming in. Cole, you're trying to get fourth. Double Sandman, but not enough, man. Oh, not enough to be able to do it with the double Sandman, unfortunately. Oh, rough. Thanks, Rinku, at least giving me the insight in terms of what could have been played with 6. We are seeing Rinku passing to knowing that they do not have the ability of progressing. The Priyas activate the Aerolith, so creating an additional one. The Aerolith, one of them will be sacrificed at night, allowing a resupply, and that's a nice resupply as well with the Rage. So congratulations to Aragorn that gets the win. I am going to take us to the home screen so we can see how it all has come up for the day. As we go through, I'll see if there's anybody still playing. So we had Aragorn going undefeated. Congratulations, you do get one of the packs. Everyone is finished up. We have finished on time. Thank you for joining me. Rinku, you get second, so you will also get a promo pack. I will reach out to you afterwards. Aragorn, I think I now owe you 3 that I have to give you. So tomorrow morning, I will get that to you. Kimmy Dog coming in third with 2 wins and 1 loss. Kohlrabi also getting the 2 wins and 1 loss, as well at 1 loss. Kolfa and Jack and Lord Judah also doing that. So congratulations to all of you. I appreciate it. We had a lot of people not show up, and that's a little bit disappointing here. We do hope as we keep going to keep on going, getting as much participation as possible, bring the game to light here in the Americas, both in the north as well as my original place of in the south, in Chile, Argentina, Brazil, that whole area there. It would be fantastic. You'd get them to join us as well. But I will leave you all with it. Congratulations again to Aragorn and Rinku coming in second. For also reach out, you will get your prize support. Please remember that we have also put in the information on the Adventure Pass on the tournament page. Please link into it, join up, and within the next couple of days, that will be validated onto your account. So congrats everybody again. So Rinku and Aragorn, you both end up getting the card benefit, the promo pack. All right, that is it. Congrats all. Appreciate it. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks all for playing. And on that, hasta luego.